Okay, so thank you everybody for joining in and for letting me share a little welcoming message, a little kickoff message for 2021. I am really excited for 2021, which might seem kind of strange because we're going into it with a whole lot of, it feels like uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen or, you know, how it's going to end. But I mean, who started 2020 with a plan? There's so many of us who thought we had 2020 mapped out. We knew what was going to happen. We knew what we were going to do. Yeah, and that probably didn't happen. So things went very different in 2020. But the one thing that came out of it is, well, I did a lot more reading. And one of the books I read was Grit. And it really impacted a lot about how I'm going forward into 2021. And I really wanted to share this with the team because I really feel like it's so relevant for what we're doing right now. So 2020, if it taught us one thing, it is that things are very unpredictable and we can't control a lot of things. And we can't control our time, but we can control what we do with our time. We can't control people, but we can control our response to people. And if we light up a room when we enter it or when we leave it, we can control that element of it. We can't control the weather, but we can control if we choose to dance in the rain. We can't control everything about what we are. So we probably can't control our height or the talent that we're born with, but we can control who we are. And just FYI, effort coupled with persistence will beat talent almost 100% of the time. So it's not about who you're born as, it's about who you live as. So I used to start my goals with what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a master coordinator, but it's not until we determine who we, it's not until we determine the who that we are, that we can grow into the what. So belief is a part of that. You need to believe in who you are to become the what that you want to be. So the number one takeaway tonight, so just the one of the top ones, is determine your who to get to your what. Let me see if my screen will actually cooperate with me here. There we go. So this is from the book. Grit is like living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. So the number two takeaway is going to be about what you do after you know who you are. So what are you going to do after that? Know your who and stick to it. That is one big thing. With 2020, a lot of people, we kind of knew what we were going to do and whatever, but if we didn't have a solid essence of, or the solid belief in who we are, we may have felt like we were floundering a little bit. I know I did. It was just like, whoa, you know, all the usual things, the things that we were comfortable with, they're gone. So all of a sudden, your character is going to be exposed. Everything about you is going to be tested. And so how are we going to continue? Like they kept on saying, we're glad 2020 is over. Some people are glad it's over. But how are you going to make 2021 different? How are you moving forward into this? So enthusiasm is common. A lot of people might hop into this reset group that we're in and they're all enthusiastic and have these great goals and everything, but endurance is very rare. We've heard Bill Firth say that leaders will do one more thing, one more call, one more minute, one more thing. They go to one more step where others quit. As Jeff Hill said today, being focused on the long view is very important. We're easily preoccupied with that short view and we behave as if that determines our long view. But we need to live with the long view and focus and let that give perspective to our short view. So flip around the typical vision, and that'll help you with endurance. So one way that I like to look at it is look at life with binoculars, not with magnifying glasses, if that makes any sense. So let's dive into the concept of grit a little bit here. So grit is about holding the same top level goal for a long time, and being willing to adjust or remove low-level goals, and all your low and mid-level goals, they have to support that top goal. So how many unintentional, or maybe even intentional, distractions are you allowing to interfere with your progress to your top goal? We will do that when we aren't secure in our who. We will feel silly about a post. We will procrastinate because it's not perfect and, oh dear, what will people think? I beat myself up with that one all the time. What will people think? We will allow that little red light story or that lie to become a truth. The lie is not about, or that little lie that we believe about not being good enough, or we're not smart enough, or we're not pretty enough, or we're not good enough at sales, which, by the way, that's not what we do anyways. We aren't about sales, we're about solutions. So, so really being clear about that top level goal. So my top goals are beyond just, you know, I'm a mom. Yes, I'm a Shaklee leader. Yes, those are two big goals in my life. But who am I as a mom? What kind of mom? And as a Shaklee leader, who? Like, what kind of Shaklee leader? My top goal as a mom is to be a mom that encourages her kids to grow into who they have been created to be, and to instill persistence, encourage, and to encourage grit and an understanding of their purpose. So that's my top goal as my mom. And that ties right into who I want to be as a Shaklee leader. My goal as a Shaklee leader is to be a leader that encourages others to grow into who they have been created to be, and to encourage persistence and grit, stick it out, and an understanding that you all have value and purpose, and to pass that on, keep passing it on, be the light in other people's life. So that's my top goal, and all the other goals lead into that. Principles, living by principle and not preference, another very clear thing to keep remembering. By principle, those are your guideposts. Those are non-negotiables about how you're going to live, who you will be. For me, it's not allowing outside influences, or sometimes the internal ones, internal like jealousy or insecurity, to tarnish what is right in front of me. I'm going to choose to live by seeing the gift, going forward with God, grace and grit, and pouring into other people. Be someone that changes lives, be present. Those are my goalposts. The preferences, those are things that make me feel good in the moment, but they're often distractions. So those are things that I have to remember, not to live by preference, not to live by just what feels good at the moment. Go by the principles. So making sure you have your top goal very clear. Now, grit is, again, about holding that same top level goal for a long time and being willing to adjust or remove the low level goals. Are you focused and intentional? Are all your goals aligned to reach your top level goal? Be the best that you, or be the best you that you can be, which means that you need to be laser focused on who you are. So what you see here is, yes, I'm a homeschool mom. I'm a businesswoman. I'm a wife. Shaklee is kind of my constant through my whole life. But I have to balance focus on this. You cannot have competing top goals, and you have to have one or two. Like you cannot be saying, I want to do Shaklee, I want to do this, I want to be brilliant at that, and it has to be laser focused. And so in 2021, I'm encouraging you to be very clear about your top goal, and to make sure that your mid-level goals sponsor that 2-in-1 monthly. Those are your actions that are closely related to your top goal. Those are non-negotiables. The low levels, very ironically, they tie right into that healthy habits tracker. So those are all those healthy habits that you do every day that will help you become better at who you are. So the 2-in-1 in 21, this is just so simple. I love this. I'm not going to go through everything because we just saw the call. You're going to get the FAQs. You're going to get all the information that you need. But just a quick rundown here. This is simple paths, rewards, trips, and income. So monthly, the Start Club isn't changing. You still get $25 for each Prove It. You still get $75 for every 3 circles that you fill in the month. But the perks for signing up distributors just got amped up. So you are getting more perks for signing distributors. So talk about the opportunity. Quarterly, focus on quarters. So just look at 3 months at a time, break it down. Make sure you have your 2 members and 1 distributor each month, and your 100 PV loyalty order between the 1st and the 15th of every month. Can you say Apple Watch? Right? That's pretty cool. And you get 1 quarter closer to the trip. Pace Setter, you can earn up to 500 extra as you grow. You can earn 500 when you hit director and keep growing and earning more. It's just amazing what they've been giving us this year. And the Start Club trip with special VIP elite options. There's so much goodness that they are giving to us, and all they are asking us to do is to keep sharing with people the home-based solutions that we have for health and income and positive solutions, being part of a community, things that people are craving right now. And we just need to get out there and keep offering it to people. So So just a few closing remarks. Do you know that you can actually grow your grit? I mean, I know I'm born stubborn, but I can actually grow my stubbornness. So I think it's pretty cool. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing to grow it, as long as it's about the right things. So you can actually grow your grit. So it's also, again, very neat that it's what we're doing in the 90-day wellness challenge that we're doing here in Canada. I think it's awesome what we're doing there. So number one way to grow your grit is to choose healthy habits, those lower level habits. Choose growth and stick to them. So that's one way to grow your stubbornness in a good way. The other one is surround yourself with the right community. Ta-da, we're doing that right here, right? So it's amazing. And one other little tip is I would say read the book. It's a really, really good book. So we will need grit in 2021. More people, again, need our home-based solutions especially for income. They need them. And we've said this many times before, but perhaps never as much as before have we been so relevant. People are weary. They are burnt out. They are scared. They might say no at first because they don't understand who we are, they don't understand what we're about. They don't understand that they have the ability. So just walk alongside them, do your relationship deposits, add value to their life. And it doesn't have to be about shackly, right? You just love on people. And when you do chat with them, be very upfront. So something like, I'd love to chat with you about something, but first, how are you doing? So don't just start with, how are you doing, with the intention that you want to talk about shackly. Be upfront. Don't do this for what they can do for you. 2021 is the year to be a light in other people's lives. So I'm going to finish off by saying, go with God, with a lot of grace, and with boatloads of grit, and we will succeed. And I'll be sitting on the beach, hopefully, in 2022. So that is all I wanted to say. I want to just open it up to everybody else here.